Namaskar. So I recently completed the Death book, and in this video we'll be discussing about the book in detail. Before starting with the book, I need to tell you that this book is for everyone. Whether you know Sadhguru or you don't, whether you are an atheist or a seeker or a believer, you may be of any religion, caste or creed, but this book is really a must read for every one of you. In today's world, it is really easy to talk about what to do with your life, how to live it, what to do, what not to do. But when it comes to death, people tend to take it as a taboo. Not only people, many cultures and traditions in the world also look at death as something really bad and a calamity. But the way that the Indian tradition has looked towards death is completely different. Here, the understanding of death came from the understanding of life. Thousands and thousands of realized beings went inside themselves and saw that what their life is about. And in this process, they also came to know what is death, and it is not a calamity. Rather, life and death are both the same things, just playing in a different way. This book will answer your every doubt, every question about death. I will go in detail on each part of this book and tell you that what topics are being covered. And is there something that you can take back from the book and implement that in your life? This book comes from a person who has known his interiority in its fullest form. This is not an outpouring of a thought or an idea. This is a living reality for every spiritual person who has attained to a certain state. So starting with the content, there are three major parts in this book. I'll go first with the part 1. The part 1 starts by explaining what really death is, and is it a calamity or a bad thing to happen. It makes us understand the connection between life and death. Then the part 1 goes in deep in the sequence of death and how the Panch Pranas are released from the body after death. It also answered my question that whether death is a momentary thing or whether it is a process which happens in stages. After that, the book also talks about the various kinds of deaths and how they are different to each other. And if there is a difference, what is Mahasamadhi? Are Mukti and Mahasamadhi different, or it's the same thing? These all questions are been answered in the book. In the start of the part 2, Sadhguru talks about how a person can prepare himself to pass through the process of death in a very graceful manner. Sadhguru also talks about ancient Indian practices of Vanaprastha Ashram, Salekhna, and the importance of dying in Kashi, and why it is considered so pious to shed your body in that city. And hereafter starts one of the most important part of the book, that how can we assist people who are about to die, and after they shed their bodies, how can we properly dispose their bodies and what is the right method to do that. I found the explanations of each one of this really very scientific and logical, and my respect towards the Indian tradition of Karmakand really increased after reading this. It also explains the importance of the 13 days after somebody dies, and is it possible to assist a person in his journey after he is dead. Sadhguru also talks about the Shraddh rituals which are done in the Indian culture, and what is the importance of that. After this, the book talks about a powerful process which happens at the Isha Yoga Center called the Kala Bhairav Karma, which if done within the 14 days after one passes by, can tremendously assist the journey of that being. Now the part 3 talks about something really interesting. It talks about ghosts and the disembodied beings. This part starts by addressing what really are ghosts and can they really trouble us? And if yes, then what is the solution to that? What can we do? Many of your concepts about ghosts, bhoot, pret are really going to change after you read this. This is till date the most logical explanation about ghosts and the disembodied beings that I have come across. Now after this, Sadhguru talks about something which is really very misunderstood in India, which is reincarnation. With that, Sadhguru also talks about past lives and do they have any impact on our present lives too. Now the talk of past life leads to a similar topic, being connected to a specific person throughout many lifetimes. Is this a reality? Is this possible? And if yes, who is that being who really has a connection with us which lasts for several lifetimes? After this, Sadhguru talks about a very important topic of pregnancy. In this, he explains that when a life enters a womb, can we externally influence what happens in the womb? And if yes, how? About talking of old age deaths, Sadhguru talks about a really important age, which is 84 years. He says that phenomenal changes happen in a human being after 84. Are they good for the person or bad? You need to read the book to know this. Throughout the book, there are many mystical topics and dimensions which have been addressed in detail. For example, can you cheat death? Can we predict death? Can a yogi enter any other person's body and still retain his own? Is immortality possible? Can some yogis dematerialize their body and then recreate it themselves? Can an enlightened being really decide that when and where he really wants to get born, or it is just a story? And at the end, the most important thing, Sadhguru dives deep into his own life, his own past lives, and the purpose and goal of his present life. And Sadhguru finally answers the question which every Isha Meditator had, that will Sadhguru come back? If not, then how long he is going to stay with us? This answer gave me tears. In the conclusion of the book, Sadhguru talks about what he wants to offer to the world and how that can change the lives of millions and millions of people. Presently, it has touched millions, but he wants this to increase. And finally, Sadhguru says that I have given you enough tools to lead your life very pleasantly and very joyfully. I don't like to interfere in your life, but your death, I usually take it in my own hands. With this sentence, Sadhguru ends the book. I really urge to every one of you, this is not just for you. This is for the people who are around you, whom you love, whom you care for. This book has ways and methods in which you and your loved ones can get prepared for the moment when we need to shed our bodies. This is not a religion, this is not an ideology, this is not a belief system. This is a pure science in which many realized beings have experienced the truth and shared it with millions. Whoever you are, I really want you to read this book, and I want you to share this with all your friends and family to make them aware about this book. Because this book will help you live your life very joyfully and pleasantly. If not that, it will surely help you die better. So with this request, I would like to end this review. If you have any other questions related to the book, I can talk about it in the comments below. The link from which you can buy this book is in the description. The next video will be about my experience of the Samyama program. This program is a dream for every Isha Meditator, and I had the opportunity to go through it. So I will surely see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Namaskaram.